house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this, could you? A little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back for another Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
With us on the ones and twos, Joseph Ascani.
What is up?
This is episode 185. We are on to the Sweet 16. We're going to recap the round of 32 Saturday and Sunday. We had a pretty good day. We'll get to that, though. Sweet 16, we're going to give you our best bets. We're going to talk about a couple things throughout the tournament, a couple things that I saw that I feel are worth mentioning. And we're just going to try to keep making money because we made a lot of it over this past weekend. I think other than my ad, we won every bet.
Yeah.
So after the first round, we hopped back into the studio at around 1 a.m., tired, and we proceeded to win every single bet that we gave out. So for that reason, you should hit the subscribe button on wherever you listen, in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button as well. I do want to address, we had a couple people, more than like 5 people, bring up the fact that the videos are too long. And so, first off, we just gave you 9 bets on episode 184. We won 9 bets. The videos are not too long.
That's why you timestamp it.
Yes, that is true. And I do timestamp it. I take the liberty to timestamp. They're not complaining. They are, but they're not like, let me put it this way. If we were to just give you the bets, we stand to gain nothing. So we're in this. You help us out by watching. We get a view on YouTube. If you're generous, you hit subscribe, you hit like, you tell a friend about it, and it helps us grow the page. You don't hand out 9 bets for free, but we do. 9 winners, for free, but we do. All we ask is that you watch the videos. I take the liberty to timestamp the video. I understand everybody wants to just kind of, but if you're good at something, you don't do it for free. And you definitely don't give it away for fucking nothing. So just click the timestamp. You got time. Fast forward through it. Double tap the right side of the screen. If you're watching on your phone, you go fast forward 10 seconds each time. Bam, you'll get straight to the picks. If I told you you had to watch for 20 minutes to get 9 winners in a row, I think you'd watch. So I do appreciate each and everybody that does take the time to watch. And like I said, it's a couple certain people. Some people complain. Other people are just saying like, man, I wish I had more time. I don't have time. I get it. I totally do. But get the fuck over it. So find the time or don't listen. I do appreciate everybody that does listen. But like I said, if you're good at something, you don't do it for free. And we could charge for these picks. There's people that would buy our picks if we put them out. We just won 9 straight bets. So what do you think? You think we should just write them on Joseph's notepad? And
I'm gonna start charging.
you can just write them on the notepad and post them out.
Yeah, I'll mail them through the post office to everybody.
Yeah, no, that's why I was like, y'all keep fucking around, dude. I'm gonna start dropping these picks like Easter eggs. We're not even gonna tell you where they're at. It'll be 13 minutes in. Next pick won't be till 29 minutes in. Real quick, adjust from like a switch up from March Madness. The only thing I have that's not March Madness related. Did y'all see the Shohei Ohtani news?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it.
Have you seen anything?
Tad bit.
Did he address the media today?
Yeah.
What did he say?
It's
really hitting you hard, huh?
He's not gambling.
Okay. Looked like you were about to get
No,
choked
I
up.
had to think about it, dude. I don't know why.
I didn't know if you were like big Ohtani guy.
I like Ohtani a lot. He's a generational talent.
Yeah, and I sniped his rookie card for like $100. And
Hold on to it.
No, I sold it for 10x.
All right,
got out. Motherfucker had Tommy John surgery. I got out right in time. And now he's betting on baseball. I don't buy it. He's betting on his own games. So, what do you think? Do you think he's betting?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is. $4.5 million? He said, it's his interpreter, first off. Let's just fucking study up on the English language. What are you betting on games for?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be interpreting. We don't even know what he's saying half the damn time.
How'd your interpreter get a hold of your accounts?
Yeah. Well, no, I think from what I saw, the alibi was going to be that Ohtani was helping him get out of his debt. So he was paying for his, but I could be wrong. I didn't read into it that much. From what I gathered, I thought it was that the interpreter got into gambling debt, Ohtani was bailing him out. But at the end of the day, innocent until proven guilty, but Shohei Ohtani's betting on these fucking games. And he's betting
$4.5 million.
Did you see
Was that was
yes,
missing?
yes. And somebody bet a large sum of money on his game when he was pitching. I think it was for the team that he was pitching against to have over 6 runs or something like that. He gave up 6 earned runs. Get him out of this fucking league. You don't want to put Charlie Hustle in the Hall of Fame? Get Shohei Ohtani out of here. No, it's crazy though. It'll be like probably the biggest story in the history of baseball if it comes out that he was betting on games. You set the precedent. You don't let Pete Rose get into the Hall of Fame, and you banned him from the game and all of that. And they're like the oldest tradition-based game. Got to get Ohtani's gone. Arguably one of the best players of all time. I've only seen him for a couple years with the injuries and all of that. Motherfucker wants to bet on games. Get him out. What do you think? You think they kick him out if they find out?
Yes.
I mean, I guess you have to, but
They're
he is
gonna
like
kick his ass to the curb, dude.
he's like I don't know what his orientation is, but he is the Asian Babe Ruth.
Yeah, they don't play with baseball. They don't play with that shit, dude.
That would be wild. That would be one of the biggest stories in all of sports for sure. But all right, back to March Madness. We've gotten through the first weekend. We have grinded out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. First round, second round, and it's survive and advance, and we did more than just survive and advance. We made a lot of money. We had a very profitable second round. Justin, who was with us, he was supposed to be with us today. His physical therapy got switched around on him, and he had no clue it was coming. I don't buy it. Justin quietly he said he won every bet. That was not the case because he did give out Kentucky, but I think he won every other bet. I had no idea. I was locked in on my brackets, locked in on my bets. I didn't leave the couch for over 72 hours. And so tip your cap to Justin for the first round. He sat over here and just handed out nothing but winners. And I had absolutely no idea. I don't think any of us did. Did you know Justin was winning all his bets?
No.
He didn't tell me. You didn't know.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Justin was just quietly like waiting for us to give him the recognition. I had no idea. I'm fucking following my brackets. I'm following my bets.
It's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah. No, it's a war of attrition, and we lived to tell the tale. We got through the other side. I really did have a stretch where like that morning after we recorded the most recent episode, I was feeling rough. I was worn out. I was tired. It's mentally exhausting when you're sitting there watching, sweating out these games. You got bets on them. You also need them for your brackets, and you're doing. It's incredible like how good at math I become, or like different with our bracket challenge. You've got to add and subtract, or like there's projected best possible points, and then you got to look at other people's. Like, okay, well we have different here. He has Iowa State, I have San Diego State, blah blah blah. Like you got to break it all down. It's incredible. I turned into fucking Stephen Hawking minus the paralysis, and just start. I'm worn out. I've eaten like shit. I've gotten no sleep, but we made a lot of money, which is what I said we would do. What do you think what's the best game of the tournament so far?
Shoot.
Do you have
the last game last night.
That's what I was about to say. That game was insane.
That's recency bias. But yes, there's 3 best games in my opinion. Houston A&M, Creighton in the double overtime, Yale Auburn. Yale Auburn was wild. Like the ending sequence of that game, and the reason I ask is because a lot of people are basically saying this is a boring tournament. And
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. I told you like it just lacked the buzzer beaters, like we were talking about it. So I understand what people are saying. But that was after like day 2, and people are saying it even more now. They're like, oh, the tournament, this is a bust of a tournament. And I don't understand how you can say that at all, because when you go down the list of the games we had, you started off with Duquesne over BYU, which was a game that came down to the wire. It was an upset. You got Dayton with a 17-point comeback. You've got Samford with a 20-point near comeback. The Alabama Grand Canyon game was very good. We just talked about Houston and A&M going to overtime. There was your buzzer beater to force it to overtime. Then you've got what I also just mentioned, Creighton in the double overtime versus Oregon, and Auburn and Yale was a crazy game. So yeah, you've had all the top 1 and 2 seeds have advanced to the Sweet 16.
Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland over Kentucky. Yep.
In the second round game.
Yeah, and Oakland NC State was a good game
State,
too.
yeah.
They had an opportunity. And then Baylor came back yesterday. Jacoby Walters just melted at the free throw line and misses 2 free throws to tie the game. He misses them both. You at least have to make one.
Yeah, Colorado, Florida, though, was a good game.
Yeah, KJ Simpson with the game winner.
I think people are saying that as opposed to, they're getting a little overexcited about how it went down last year. You had St. Peter's. You had
that was 2 years
Arizona
ago. Fairleigh Dickinson last year. Princeton over Arizona.
I think that there's not as much, that might be why people are saying that.
No, that's definitely what it is. There's no Cinderella this year. The potential Cinderellas all got beat. Yale got trounced to San Diego State, which you were on San Diego State. We saw that coming. Oakland loses to NC State. Close game, though, right down to the wire. So here's the good thing. When the Cinderellas go on their run, they get the shit kicked out of them in the later rounds. You've gotten to see the couple potential Cinderellas. They've all lost, and now you get better games. So the Sweet 16, Elite 8, so on and so forth is going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
You have so many good games coming up. It's better that the Cinderellas lost, in my opinion, because I remember, I think it might have been last year or even the year before that with Fairleigh Dickinson, like you get to those games where it's like, okay, they're going to get obliterated. And, can the Cinderella do it? They get beat by 40. Like, it's what we saw with Purdue just beating the shit out of Utah State yesterday, and that's not even a Cinderella. When you had the way it's played out makes for, in my opinion, potential to be one of the better tournaments ever. So you have all the best teams in. The 1 and 2 seeds, all of them have advanced. Creighton's a 3 seed. They went through. I think it's setting up perfect. I really do. So, of course, you want to see more buzzer beaters and exciting whatever, but I think the way it's playing out is going to be best for us in the long run. We're going to have no real snooze fest games. With that being said, Creighton did get the job done. Double overtime win. My 45-1 futures ticket is alive. You have a Creighton bracket, so you're invested in Creighton as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Do you have the best Creighton bracket?
No.
There's not many.
No.
Okay.
No, I would have to have UConn lose, which is a tough ask.
Anything can happen.
I know, but
anything can happen.
That's my only shot.
So all 4 1 seeds don't typically go. So we'll see. Somebody's going to get upset.
What's y'all's best ones? Are we about to talk about that or
best what?
Brackets.
I have the number 1 Houston bracket.
Nick?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
He's out.
Oh.
No, he's not. No, he's not. But
I need the Final Four to be perfect.
Who do you have in it?
UConn, Houston, Tennessee, and Arizona.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I need to
but he's going to be actively
Tennessee.
Okay, see, this is horseshit.
What?
So
That's your Tennessee bracket?
Yeah.
y'all are going to be actively rooting for Tennessee against Creighton.
Oh, for sure.
That's crazy. You're not going to win.
For my bracket?
Yeah, your bracket's fucked.
What do you mean?
Your bracket's
For my
fucked.
bracket, of course.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
How?
No, that really is. That's
How
crazy.
is that crazy?
Because I'm going to win nearly $5,000 if Creighton wins the national championship.
Well, what if I win?
You have
I
a
win
5,001 odds to win the bracket
$2
challenge.
grand?
You have a 5,001 odds.
Dude, I need it more than you.
No, but your ship has sailed. Your ship has sailed. So you made a Creighton bracket. That was your number 1 pick. So just for pride, you're not going to ride with them. You're not going to ride with them.
What do you mean?
Your Creighton bracket still has a chance too.
This game?
There's only like 3 Creighton brackets. You think you have the best odds with the Tennessee bracket?
Are you asking if I'd be upset if Creighton won?
No, I'm just saying I know he's going to actively root for me to lose my futures bet.
Why? Wait, what? Why would he actively root for?
Because he wants Tennessee to win for his bracket.
Oh,
Because
you
y'all are
have a
selfish.
Tennessee bracket?
He needs the Final Four. And is it your Houston bracket?
Well, I have a Tennessee futures too.
Oh God.
Oh man, this is.
And,
Yeah, but you
Iowa
placed it right
State
before the
future.
tournament.
Yeah, but it was still
I'm
18 to
grandfathered
1.
in. I understand. I'm grandfathered in. Mine's been here longer.
Okay.
Mine's 45-1.
I'm about to just I'll probably do a Houston futures bet and a Creighton futures.
No, that's what. No, I'm not even kidding. We should all do Creighton futures right now. Y'all should both do it before we go further at all.
What is it?
25 to 1, actually.
Let's do it.
25 to 1.
Dude, I'll do it right now.
I'm terrified of this matchup against Tennessee, so I don't think it would be the best bet. But
Yeah, but if they win.
But if they fucking win, it's gonna plummet. We're talking 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Because you just got to get through Purdue, who's going to lose to Gonzaga.
Then you got to get through Gonzaga.
No, don't.
I'll probably do
just let me work it out.
Houston and Creighton.
Here, put the camera on me. Look, I've already been firmly on the Creighton bandwagon. It's no secret. 45 to 1 odds. I've been riding it before they beat UConn. A lot of people hopped on after they beat UConn. I hopped on before they beat UConn. I knew it was going to happen. We took them that night against UConn. They went outright, but we took them 45 to 1 odds. It is nowhere near 45 to 1 odds right now. I haven't sweat out a game and cheered for a team that's not one of my own personal teams like I did the other night when Creighton won in double overtime. So I'm already on the bandwagon, but there's a lot of Creighton social pages, whatever. Take me with you. I'm ready to ride for the fucking Blue Jays. I will die for this team. 45 to 1 odds. I don't even know what I'll do. I don't know. But I have a horrible omen now that I think about it. There's a terrible, terrible omen. I have a Dalton Connect jersey en route. I bought a Dalton Connect jersey before the tournament. I bought the jersey of the guy that's going to fucking shit on me. I couldn't even believe it when I thought about it. I was like, oh my God. Because my Tennessee bracket, I did have a Tennessee bracket. Probably fucked. Definitely fucked. I had Baylor and Auburn. So it's like the worst sign possible that I have a literal Dalton Connect jersey coming. It's going to get delivered the day after I lose my futures bet. So I don't know, but I'm ready to ride for Creighton. I am 45 to 1 odds. I don't know. I mean, do you think what do you think their chances are of winning? You just said you're going to bet Creighton on a future.
I don't know. You would think it would be a little bit. Still being able to get them at 25 to 1. I don't know. I feel like I would want to bet that, but
Tennessee was 10 to 1. It went up to 12 to 1, I believe.
Yeah. Well, I bet them right before the tournament at 18 to 1.
No, I meant 10 to 1 like yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't know who knows? Who knows what they know? Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think Creighton's chances are of winning?
The entire tournament?
Tennessee game.
I mean, it's a 2.5 point spread, so it's got to be around a 50-50 shot, huh?
I didn't ask you what Vegas thought. What do you think? Take your time.
Probably around 45%.
Okay, that was a weird way to break it down, but yeah, I mean, like a great, not great, good, bad, like somewhere in that range would have worked.
Yeah, they have a good shot.
45% exactly, or like decimal point after that?
Anybody can beat anybody, and Creighton's a very good team.
Okay, well, I mean, what are you running for public office?
What do you want me to say?
Dude, I'm worried. That's what I'm saying. I'm worried. Reason being, do we expect Dalton Connect to go through and out of the March Madness tournament without having a great game, without dropping 40 or 30? He didn't play well against Texas. He had 18 points, 9 rebounds, but he did that on 5 of 18 shooting from the floor, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. As Zakai Ziegler played like dog shit again, 2 of 12 from the field, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. He had 6 points, 4 turnovers. The thing here, and I've kind of jumped to the Creighton breakdown.
I said he was going to be the difference maker. Boy, have I been wrong.
Who's Zakai Ziegler?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to be if they're going to win.
Exactly.
So, in all seriousness, like, I'm nervous because I want Creighton to win, but I think Creighton, you have to have that near loss. When I was on Baylor in 21, they nearly lost to Houston in a close game, if I remember correctly. You have that scare. Houston just had theirs against A&M. Creighton just had theirs in a double overtime. But what that does is that shows you that when shit's hitting the fan and you're in the fire, they have multiple guys that can pull you out. Trey Alexander's already hit a game winner this year in a big game. Baylor Shireman, with a cold-blooded step-back 2-point shot to tie the game. Ashworth, that little son of a bitch, you got to live with him shooting it off the top of the backboard. But he came out in that double overtime and railed a huge 3, and then Kalkbrenner, the center, hits the dagger, basically, Jason Green with the putback dunk was really the dagger. They have multiple options. They're good on defense. They're better than advertised on defense, at least in the public eye. They kind of get glossed over as what they're capable of doing on the defensive side of the ball. Zakai Ziegler's played poorly. I don't really care what Tennessee did against, what was it, Fairleigh Dickinson? We knew that was going, St. Peter, sorry. We knew that was going to happen. But then they go play Texas. This Texas team is not as good as years past. This is one of the worst Texas teams in probably 5 years. I mean, they very well could have lost. In hindsight, I wish they would have. Dalton Connect's the best player on the floor, but after that, it's advantage Creighton in terms of Dalton Connect's the best player, and then take your fucking pick for second best. Maybe it's Kalkbrenner, Shireman, or Alexander, any of those three. And if you can get some help, if Ashworth can start hitting shots, if Farabello can hit shots, if Miller can hit shots, there's just so many guys. They had such a bad shooting night. To have that bad of a shooting night and still be able to win the game, as a team, they were 15 of 39 from the three-point line. So they clearly, they must have, because they started hitting in double overtime. But you gave up 40 points in the paint to N'Faly Dante, and Cousinard was going crazy. Tennessee doesn't have that. Adu's not really going to do that much. Kalkbrenner, I give advantage to Kalkbrenner down low in terms of the matchup with Adu. They're not going to really have much for Connect, but Connect will settle for threes, so you can kind of pack the lane, and if he's having an off shooting night. If it's just him, though, Creighton should win the game. If it's just Connect and not anybody else stepping up, which Ziegler's not playing well, then I think Creighton can win the game. They have so many different options. They will force some shots up. You just got to get them to go.
Neither is Vescovy.
What, not playing well?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He's not shooting well at all.
Yeah, and he's kind of he's an interesting case because he was like an all SEC guard, and then now that's another one. Jordan Gainey was supposed to come in, and he was supposed to do what Connect is doing. They were bringing in two guys that were supposed to revamp the scoring output for Tennessee. Jordan Gainey's not really lived up to, he's coming off the bench, has not lived up to the expectations. He was 1 of 5 from the floor against Texas, 0 of 4 from the three-point line. No, Vescovy has not played well. He's not shooting it well. He's not a threat off the dribble to score. He used to be able to kind of get to the basket and make some things happen. He'll play tough defense, but he's undersized. In all seriousness, like I said, I'm worried my view of this game is skewed because I'm sitting on the futures bet, but I think that Creighton has more guys to rely on. There's more. If Connect's having a bad night, it's over with. They got lucky to go up against a Texas team that really lacks scoring ability. And Tennessee's still good defensively, so they can overcome that, and we're able to hang in the game with Texas. Against Creighton, if they shoot exactly how they did against Texas, Creighton's going to win by 20. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but there's just too many guys. There's too many sustainable ways to score. They don't foul. That's another thing. They're going to put Adu in foul trouble. It's unlikely that Kalkbrenner will get in foul trouble. Knock on wood.
And what did they say? 62 games?
Yeah,
or something,
it is remarkable because they do play good defense, and they do it without fouling. They went to double overtime. I don't think anybody fouled out.
Which is insane.
Look
at Houston.
Yeah,
they go to one overtime and it's like 5 people fouled out.
Yeah, everybody fouled out. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think when it's been time to play your best basketball, Tennessee has not really done it. They didn't do it in the SEC championship. They did not look good against Texas. They shot 33% from the floor, 3 of 25 from the three-point line, 12%. Odds are it's not going to be much worse. It can really only go up from there. But they have not been shooting well. So, what do you think? I mean, I am serious. Like, I do think there's more room for error with Creighton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're sitting on a Tennessee future. You said you would consider a Houston or a Creighton, but I mean, how do you see this game going? And if you're betting on it, we'll get to it. I'm not saying give your pick.
No, I'm not betting on it.
I'm not saying give your pick for the spread or anything, but just overall.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee's defense affects them.
Yeah.
So if they're able to, I don't know, if they aren't able to get the ball inside, kind of how Oregon defended them, and they have to kind of rely on shooting a lot of threes. Their guys can shoot.
It was just a really bad
Yeah.
night.
But even like
Until it was
the
time
whole
to
game,
go.
I was never like, I always felt like Creighton's shots were eventually going to go down. But
Well, they did when it mattered most, but
Yeah.
it took. I mean, they played with fire. It took a little. It took a lot. You really. I mean, exactly that. You played with fire.
I thought it was a fantastically coached game by McDermott.
Yes,
At the end of
and
the game there, I mean, that adjustment he made defensively,
yeah, it was a little
no, yeah,
late.
that yes,
that was
yes,
incredible.
Yes.
I mean, what
Yeah,
a
to
great
double.
time to
that was
double
the
there.
difference. That was
trap,
That was
that
a
pick
huge
and roll.
difference.
yes.
Yeah.
No, that was the difference. That's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Jonas Adu, I've talked about him. I've said he's the weakest link on this Tennessee team throughout this entire season. It's no secret. He's weak down low. Kalkbrenner's skinny and lanky, but he will bang down low. He's not.
He's strong.
Yeah, he is
defensively.
not weak down low on the low post. He will get the better of Adu. I promise you that. Offensively and defensively, he goes and he finishes around the rim. I give a huge advantage between those two to Kalkbrenner. Adu is not in Folly Dante. I'll tell you that. That's a grown ass man down there. So, I trust the role players for Creighton far more than I do for Tennessee. Ashworth, I'm going to look at what did Ashworth finish shooting, because it couldn't have been great.
He shot, I think, about 18 threes.
15. He was 5 of 15 from the 3-point line. Hit a big one though in that double overtime. Before that, at the time, the most important shot of the game, he put it off the top of the backboard. So that was tough. But they all shoot free throws really well too.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. They don't foul a lot. Tennessee will miss some free throws. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm looking for any reason to hedge with Tennessee, but I don't think I'm going to do it.
I wouldn't.
I don't think I'm going to do it.
I think either way, if whoever wins, they're going to need Houston and UConn to lose before they have to play them.
What do you mean?
Like, whoever wins this game, if they want to win the national championship, they're not. I don't think either one of these teams can beat Houston or UConn.
I don't know. This Houston team, it was a miracle. So we can switch. We'll switch from the Creighton to Houston and A&M. The fact that A&M clawed back into that game, I'm not even kidding. I went to go put the baby down. I walked back in. I said, "What the fuck is going on?" They were up 13.
Yeah,
It
they
was a
were
3-point game.
en route to cover.
I said, "Oh my God, it's a 3-point game." They were up 13 points. I was like, "What is going on?" And then somehow they let him inbound a fucking skip pass through the center of the lane, floats to him, and the dude rails the three. Shout out to Jamal Shed, not for what he did at the free throw line, but when it came time to seal the game and hit the most important shot of the game, the hop step from the heavens, he made the shot. But this Houston team, dude,
Terrence Radford's better than Wade Taylor.
Wade Taylor played like shit.
He played bad.
really, really poorly,
So bad.
especially down the stretch. The turnovers too, like not even just the poor shooting. The thing with this Houston team is they're always going to be the same team defensively. I would argue that they don't rebound as well as they used to. They don't have as many guys, which they're hurt. Arsenault's hurt. Tugler's hurt. Tugler was he was like one of the top freshmen, so that he was going to play like that Jarris Walker role. And so they're down like a very good player. They don't rebound as well as they used to. They still play just as good a defense. That's just Kelvin Sampson. He's going to recruit guys like it's rinse and repeat. They're going to step into that role. They're going to play the same defense no matter what. But, dude, offensively, they don't have a Sasser. They don't have Quentin Grimes when he was there. They don't have who else was it? There was another. They've had multiple of the very similar style guys. Jamal Shed is that guy. He fits that same mold. He just doesn't shoot it that well. He doesn't shoot it well from the outside. Cryer is one of the catalysts from the outside, but the main X factor, the main key guy is Emmanuel Sharp. Emmanuel Sharp was really good as a freshman. He struggled down the stretch with his shooting. He hit some timely shots last night. I don't know. So if they match up with, like you said, they would need Houston to lose. You have who's it? Juwan Walker down low. What's his fucking name? Why am I drawing a blank? The big guy, literally wearing a fucking Houston jersey. I don't know. I defensively, like Creighton doesn't turn it over a ton. They shoot it really well. You're going to get open looks. You just got to make them. You're not going to, like Houston plays smothering defense on the perimeter, but you're still going to get open looks, especially when you can move the ball around and you have 5 different guys that can hit from the outside, which if Kalkbrenner's going to hit the outside shots, which he has done in the past, then you literally have 5 guys that can shoot it. But same thing, like I said, they dodged their bullet. Houston certainly just dodged their bullet too. But they're in an interesting spot with Duke.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a cakewalk.
No.
I do have an opinion on that game. But so we'll get to that.
But yeah, the A&M game though, dude, they were everything that could go wrong for Houston did at the end, and then there was a lot of foul calls that I was like,
yeah, no, the officiating was horrible.
Like at the rim, they were defending. I thought it was guys going straight up.
Yeah.
And they would call foul.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That like pulled A&M back into the game. And even in overtime, there was some questionable foul calls that kept A&M around for a little bit longer.
Yeah, the officiating in this entire tournament as a whole has been really bad.
How many free throws did A&M shoot on a crazy amount?
I think 45. Let me see.
And they did not shoot well from the free throw line.
No. I want to say, no, they missed, I think, 15 or 16. I mean, that's your difference right there. Yeah. You lose by 5. They shot 45 free throws. They missed 16. Yep. 29 of 45, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they shot nearly 50 free throws. And it's just as ridiculous that they missed 16 of them. That's the difference in the game right there. Only 11 to 10 on turnovers. Houston got called for 28 fouls. A&M got called for 24, but A&M shot 15 more free throws.
Yeah, at the end, though, it's a lot of with them fouling at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
That makes up for the discrepancy.
Yeah, and it's not like Houston doesn't attack the rim. So, there was definitely – it was a little fishy. Houston was 51% from the floor, so that's very good.
And then going into overtime, you have your whole team in foul trouble.
Jesus Christ.
They were running out of room on the graphic for everyone that was in foul trouble.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like you're going into overtime. It's like you're screwed.
God damn.
They found a way to win.
Emmanuel Sharp had 30 fucking points.
Yeah, he played well.
I didn't know he had 30. I knew he played well. I didn't know he had 30.
And he fouled out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, him, Francis, Sharp, Cryer, and Shed all fouled out. 4 of the starting 5.
Yeah, I don't know. When Francis fouled out, he went to the bench and it looked like he was crying.
Didn't want to lose.
And Houston was up 10 at the time. I'm like, do you know that your team's winning right now? And then sure enough, there came A&M.
Then they go to overtime and he can't play anymore. And Juwan Roberts. I said, yeah. Juwan Roberts is the big man down low. He had 4 fouls. So the entire starting 5 nearly fouled out. All right, so we can recap what we did for episode 184, which I don't know if you have it written down. You don't have it written down there. I gave you, we can just go through it quick, whatever. Arizona -9, Gonzaga -4.5, North Carolina -3.5, Iowa State -6.5. Nick and I were both on it. We were on all of those, actually. He was on Texas to cover. They did. I was on the under 146.5. It hit. Marquette on Sunday -3.5. And then you were on San Diego State -5.5. I did have one ad, which fucked up the perfect weekend. Grand Canyon +6.5. They imploded late there down the stretch. The sloppiest basketball you'll ever see. Just complete one-on-one.
Totally out of control.
Yeah. That couldn't maintain a dribble. Kept taking pull-up threes in transition with nobody under the basket. Blindly attacking the rim. And, of course, Alabama hit timely shots. But if you can go the entire weekend and you only lose one bet when you send in shots all weekend, that's good. For my March Madness, I am now 14-7. Overall, I'm 66-50-1 on the season. So we're having a good year. You went 7-0?
Yeah, I'm 15-8.
Okay. Yeah, I think after the first round I was 8-6, and then what were you?
8-8.
Okay. So we're on to the Sweet 16. Starting it off on Thursday, we are looking at Arizona and Clemson. Currently, line sits at 6.5. The total's at 151.5. I'll go first with this one. How many are you on, first off?
I don't know. This is a game I have a question mark by.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. You got to give credit to Clemson for making it this far, but I think this is too much of a step up in class. P.J. Hall's a great player. He is good, nearly 20 points a game. I think Arizona has multiple options to throw at him. The obvious option's going to be with the pure size of Ballo, but then they could potentially put Keyshawn Johnson, who gives up a couple of inches in height, but makes up for it with ridiculous athleticism. So Clemson ranks outside the top 130 in perimeter defense, and Arizona has shot the ball pretty well throughout the tournament. I also think Arizona turns this into a track meet. Wildcats are 16th in adjusted tempo and second in fast break points. Clemson's 256th in tempo. So whoever plays their game, it's going to tell the tale in this one. I think Arizona has looked sharp, to be honest, and has handled business when it was time to turn it on. They did. I'm going to lay the 6.5 points with the Wildcats. I think Clemson's good. It's one of those teams you talked about, not really great at anything, but kind of good at everything. They've overachieved in the tournament. You're running into one of those teams now that, I mean, are just going to handle business. So I'm laying 6.5 with Arizona.
Okay. I'm just going to stay away, I guess.
What are you scared of?
I think you have set. I'm trying to find a.
Well, no, I'm serious. If you're going to stay away, something's worried you. So what about Clemson?
Yeah, I would. If it, the line's kind of moved around a little bit, so.
Where's it at now?
They're 6.5 for sure available. I'm trying to see if 7.5 is still available.
When I was writing it down
Caesars.
earlier, or when I was looking at it and about to write it down, it went from 6.5 to 7.5. But I'm sure you can.
There's a 6.5 on FanDuel. There's a 6.5 on Bet Rivers currently.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6.5. But yeah, so it looks like it's growing. Yeah, I mean Clemson's best player is P.J. Hall. I think Arizona's size just alone is going to make his life difficult.
Yeah, and they're 7.5 on Caesars.
So you're taking 7.5 with Clemson?
I don't know.
Do it. They should have just gave up the comeback to Baylor. They got to play an overrated New Mexico team.
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
I think you should take it.
If I could get 6 with Arizona, I'd probably lay it. But
You scared of the half point?
yeah,
Shouldn't be. It's like Gonzaga against Kansas. So I said it was easy. I told you that one was easy.
yeah.
Gonzaga ran them out the gym. They couldn't keep up. It's honestly, it's like the same thing. It's the same matchup. It's just a lesser team.
Yeah.
Clemson's a lesser team than Kansas. Kansas just has no depth, obviously, but this is a Clemson team that lost to Wake, lost to Boston College, got to play an overrated New Mexico team, and should have been tied going into the final possession with Baylor if Jacoby Walters could hit free throws after blowing a big lead. So that's a good Dayton team that Arizona just beat by 10. I feel pretty good about it. We'll see what happens. Obviously, anything can happen in the tournament, but this year more than any, you've seen the step above teams kind of handle business. So, second game, San Diego State and UConn. Is anybody on it?
I'm on Arizona as well, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell? Why didn't you chime in when he was saying he was considering Clemson?
Yeah, I still.
Yeah, well, that's when you go, I agree with you, and then maybe he's more inclined to take Arizona than now he's not.
I have Ballo having a good game.
Yeah, I think he will.
I do. I think that they're a little bit too small for him.
Yeah, no, I mean, so okay, let's break it down. PJ Hall,
and then if he's going off, if they send a double, I mean, you got Larson and Love, and I like Larson as well.
Larson's the best player on the team.
I think he's a tough player.
Love might be the dumbest player in the country, but the best scorer when he's on.
Exactly.
They need to tell him, like, don't fucking try to pass ever. Don't try to pass ever. I would almost make him come off the bench. Just be the sixth man. Be like Lou Williams. You come in and you try to fucking light it up. And then when shit starts going bad, if you're missing shots, we'll take you out. We'll go back to the guys that can fucking run the offense. The biggest guy appears to be PJ Hall.
Yeah, he's
6'10".
6'10"? Yep.
You're not going to put him on Ballo because if you put him on Ballo, then PJ Hall's going to be in foul trouble in the first half.
That's what I was looking at when I was making this pick is who's going to be guarding Ballo. I don't care which one of those players it is. I think Ballo has a game here.
Yeah, Godfrey 6'8". Wiggins is 6'10", but only 210 pounds. Ballo's going to fucking bend him over and do shit that you can't show on television. Clark, 6'10", 207 pounds. Let's go to Ballo.
Jesus.
Let's go to Ballo.
Freaking pine trees.
You have Omar Ballo is 7 feet tall, 260 pounds. Good fucking luck. Good luck. Yeah, they just have too much. But really, Keyshawn Johnson, I'm telling you, if they wanted to, he can guard any position. 6'7", 225 pounds, long as shit. Can honestly do anything you need on either side of the ball. He'll hit some outside shots here and there. Shoots over 50% from the floor. But he can guard any position. So if you're worried about Ballo potentially getting in foul trouble, you can put this guy on anybody. There's just too many options for Arizona. And if Caleb Love is on, great, they'll win by 20. If he's not, they can still cover this number. So, yeah, I like this one. I think it's it's the second biggest spread of the day. But, yeah, I like Arizona here a good bit. So, all right, San Diego State and UConn. Basically 640 tip. UConn looks like 10.5 points, give or take. Total sits at 135.5. Does anybody feel good about it?
I don't feel good about it, but I have a bet.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna take San Diego State under 62.5 points.
Okay. Okay. What are you on?
Plus 10.5
Okay. I got 11.
or 11.
So we're going to go 11. I'm taking San Diego State as well. It's a rematch of last year's national championship. This UConn team is arguably better than last year's team. And fading UConn obviously has not been profitable this year or any year for a while. But I'm going to take San Diego State plus 11. This is nearly the exact same team as last year. While UConn, you can argue, is a better team than what they had in the national championship, they're not as deep. So if you look at it, Donovan Klingen's their best big. He was their second best big last year behind Sonogo. Jordan Hawkins was the best scorer they had. Newton was also on that team. All the people that are their best players now, with the exception of Cam Spencer? I think it was the Rutgers transfer. You've got, Castle, the freshman? They have guys that have stepped up, but they're like kind of proving themselves. I don't think they're as deep this year. I think that San Diego State, I'm not saying they're going to win, but they'll be able to hang within 11 points, I think. The way that they play, the style that they play, Ledee down low, I think San Diego State will be able to hang in this game. They play smothering defense. Both teams do. You have Caravan, who I think is the X factor for UConn. He's one of those can guard multiple positions, hit from the outside, score around the basket. But all of the best players on UConn, with the exception of one guy, were all on the team last year. And I think that, yeah, they're not as deep as they used to be. So I just think it's too many points. I'm going to take San Diego State plus 11. Do y'all have anything to add to it?
That's what I have written down is too many points.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if San Diego State keeps it close, it's because they're hanging in there with defense,
Yeah, I mean, they rebound the ball well. Ledee is really, really good. Really good. So, but, I mean, Clemson has done this too, where they like kind of play teams slow in the first half. And I mean, not Clemson, UConn, where they play teams slow in the first half and then they just blitz them in the second half. So you never know. You could see that. But this San Diego State team beat Utah State 86-70. They did not cover against UAB, but it took 1 of 12 shooting and multiple turnovers to end the first half to allow UAB back into that game. Then they trounced Yale. So I think it'll be a good game. Obviously, plenty of motivation for San Diego State after last year. And I mean, Klingen's good, but Ledee can get Klingen in foul trouble. And if they go to Sampson's got the length, but Sampson will get bodied down low by Ledee. He's too skinny. He's too lanky. He's going to get moved around. But, all right, you're going team total under?
Yep.
Okay. All right, next game, Alabama, North Carolina. Is anybody on it?
I was going to leave it alone.
I have leans, like I said, on everything. The first two, Arizona and San Diego State, those are two of my three that I certainly have, but like I'm willing to add more.
Mm-hmm. All right, which way do you lean?
UNC.
Okay.
Alabama just looked a little bit too sloppy. Even like, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch the entire game, but I watched the first 10 minutes against Grand Canyon, and Alabama just looked sloppy. And if you come out doing that against UNC, I don't know. I don't think that adds up.
Yeah, I might stay away because I bet against Alabama twice. They've covered twice.
Sky high total here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Alabama's shooting the ball well in the tournament. They're hitting shots.
Yeah, what is it? Like
They did start.
170?
They started very slow against Grand Canyon, in all defense of that. But then Mark Sears turned it on. Yeah, the total's 173.5. North Carolina also turned it on. They were down 12 to Michigan State, and then, I mean, just didn't look back from there. So, R.J. Davis is the best player on the court. He's better than Sears. Baycott is the best and most experienced big. It's advantage North Carolina in talent, for sure. If I had to, I would lay the points with North Carolina, but I think I'm fading Alabama just too much. And at this point, it might just be time to stay away. But who knows? Maybe we add something as it gets a little closer. Do you have a lean at all?
I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama upset them.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also too another thing. Is it Whiteshed or whatever his last name is? Whitesell? I don't fucking know. Might have a concussion. He's been dealing with concussions all year. He got hit in the head and left the game, and I don't think he came back. So that's one thing to consider. But yeah, I'll stay away from now. We'll see how it goes from there. Final game on Thursday: Illinois taking on Iowa State. Looks like Iowa State's favored by 1.5, give or take. Total sits at 146.5. Same thing, give or take. You have a play for this?
Yeah.
What are you taking?
I'm gonna take the Iowa State first half under 34.5 points. The pace of play, Illinois plays faster than Iowa State. 88th in the nation in pace of play. Iowa State is 252nd. I think Iowa State's going to want to try to slow it down and lean on their defense like they always do. I think that's what they're going to try to do. I don't know if it's going to work against Illinois, but I think that's how they come out and start the game. So I'm kind of I would lean Illinois against a spread, but I'm going to take Iowa State first half under 34.5 points.
Yeah, I lean Illinois as well.
Me too.
Illinois look very good. And
yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be able how many stops they're going to be able to get against Illinois with Illinois' offensive rebounding ability.
That
because they have a huge rebounding advantage here.
Yes, and dude, I mean, just Terrence Shannon Jr. is locked in right now. 10 of 14 from the floor against Duquesne, dropped 30 points. They didn't shoot a ton of threes, didn't shoot it spectacular, 7 of 21, but they shot 60% from the floor. Dominated the boards, specifically defensive rebounding. They actually lost the offensive glass, but I'll take Illinois. I'll take Illinois +2. This is one of those which Iowa State covered for us, and they turned it on there late, but I just don't really trust the offense. I don't trust the offense against a team which Iowa State has great defense. Illinois can just go on these spurts where they're running, hitting from the outside. The second chance opportunities are going to be huge. I don't know that I trust Iowa State's ability to match point for point if it comes down to that. So, and Illinois has a lot of guys, a lot of lengthy guys that can guard as well. Coleman Hawkins specifically, but Guerrier can guard. You got Damask. You got multiple guys that can guard multiple different positions. So they're not exactly a slouch on the defensive side. Nowhere near as good as Iowa State, who's got the number one adjusted defense. I get it. But I don't know. The main thing with Illinois is when you play that fast, it skews your defensive numbers a little bit because you got to get back in transition. It opens the door for, especially if you're running the break and you miss, it opens the door for them to run the break and you got to get back on defense. And I feel like the teams that play the fastest always typically have a lesser defensive metrics. The slow it down, slow pace teams, Houston, Iowa State, UConn, really all of them. All of the great defensive teams play slow because they rely on their defense. If you want to run and gun, your defensive numbers take a little bit of a hit. But I mean, if you catch one of those teams that are typically used to playing slow and you get them out of their game, that's a wrap. So I think that's probably, maybe not probably, but hopefully what we see here. So I'm going to take Illinois +2. Which way do you lean in this one, Joseph? You said Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we go to Friday. NC State and Marquette. First game, 6:09 tip. Marquette's favored by 6.5 points. Totals 150.5. Do you have a bet on this?
No.
No? Do you?
Just a lean.
Which way you lean?
Marquette.
I'm taking Marquette. I'm going to ride with him again. I think Iguodoro's too long for DJ Burns. NC State wants to play through him. It's been a great story, great run. They had to win the 5 games in 5 days. They've won 2 games in the tournament now. I just think he's got too much length. DJ Burns is not going to... You can muscle people around all you want, but if he backs you up, you can back him down to the rim. If you can't shoot over him, I think we see Iguodoro's length give DJ Burns a good bit of trouble here. It's been a fun ride, but I think it's over for the Wolfpack. Kolek's the best point guard remaining in this tournament, and Cam Jones, honest to God, might be the best scorer. His ability to shoot from the outside, get hot and streaky, shooting a little bit, but also his ability to finish around the rim. Dude's got the best spin move I think I've ever seen. They have multiple options, same thing. They can withstand an off night, but I think that the big key here is going to be, it's going to take a good outside shooting performance from NC State. I don't think they'll get it. Marquette's good defensive team. They can get out and run and gun too. DJ Burns, he ain't going to be able to keep up if Marquette's running. So, and they want to feed and play through him in the post and let him pass and just be a playmaker as well as a scorer in the low post. I don't think he's going to be able to do it with Iguodaro. So, and then you got Funk. You got other people that they can throw at him. So I'm going to take Marquette -6.5.
I'm going to take it as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think, well, it's kind of like we talked about. I said Funk. Ben Gold is who I'm referring to, not Funk.
Kolek is the best point guard in the country.
Yeah, I said remaining in the tournament, but yeah, he's certainly
his decision making is the best I've seen this year.
He can get a little carried away sometimes, but it's like 5 good plays to 1 bad play. Right. So you live with it. Right. Yeah, no, his ability to run the break, his ability to run the half-court offense, his ability to finish at the rim is really understated as well.
That was huge against Colorado.
Yeah, just consistently getting to that left hand and being able to create separation and just to finish. So you got Joplin, you've got Mitchell, you've got multiple guys who play great defense, can hit you timely shots from the outside. We all sat right here. I said, who do y'all feel is the most vulnerable 2 seed? And obviously we've seen them more now, but y'all unanimously said Marquette. I said I disagreed. I texted you at the beginning of the season, which I was a long time ago. A lot of shit changes. Kansas was the number 1 team in the nation at the time. I watched Marquette beat the shit out of Kansas. And that's beginning of the year and hopefully end of the year is when you see the teams healthiest. So I saw Marquette playing at their best potential, and they dog-walked Kansas. So this team's capable of beating anybody. They're certainly capable of covering this spread. I think defensively, they've been kind of Colorado made it dicey down the stretch, but I think defensively Marquette will be able to lean on their defense. And, offensively, they got enough guys. They got more options than NC State. So I feel comfortable laying 6.5 with Marquette here.
Yeah, that response has definitely changed, at least for me.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said before the tournament.
I just had to see Kolek, coming off of that injury.
Yeah, I figured because they said they were holding them out to the tournament. And when they said that, they know that winning, they knew they were pretty much locked in on a 2 seed. They weren't going to get a 1 seed because Iowa State beat the shit out of Houston and they didn't even move up to the 1 seed. So nothing Marquette could have done would have put them at the 1 seed line. So there wasn't really much to play for. And with the oblique, I didn't think it was going to be anything that really hindered him. Now, does he re-aggravated that? You can't plan for him. So, but yeah, they look great. Mm-hmm. Credit to Colorado. That's a good Colorado team. We said that coming in. You bet them in the play-in. I'd been on Colorado multiple times this year. That's a team with multiple professionals. So don't be like, oh, well, Colorado played them close. Colorado's really fucking good. Colorado's got multiple people on their starting 5 that are going to play professional basketball. So that's a team that can really score the ball. They're one of the best teams in terms of getting into the paint and finishing at the rim. So second game, 6:40 tip, Gonzaga taking on Purdue. Purdue's 5.5 point favorites. Total sits at 154.5. Are you on it?
Yeah, I'm going to take Gonzaga's team total over 74.5 points.
Okay. You scared of the number?
No, not really, but I'd rather see what y'all are betting first.
I'm on Gonzaga. I've been on Gonzaga both times this year, or in this tournament. Going to ride them again. I think a key is going to be, I think EK is going to have the ability to draw Edey out, kind of out of his comfort zone, out of the paint. He will face up and then kind of try to hit you with something. He could put Edey in foul trouble. If they even put Edey on him, they could put somebody else on him. But Gonzaga's going to have the ability to do what when Purdue gets in trouble is when they don't go up against a true big man. And Edey can't just sit in the low post and guard a true big man and put his hand straight up, make it difficult, and get a rebound. I think EK could put Edey in some uncomfortable positions here. I don't trust the supporting cast around Edey. I don't trust Braden Smith's very good, and they fucking dog walked Utah State, don't get me wrong. But I think Gonzaga's playing great. They're shooting the ball very well. They flipped a switch on in their previous game against Kansas, and they were losing at halftime, right? They won by 30. Were they losing or it was close?
I don't know.
Let's see.
It might have just been
I
close.
think it was just close.
Regardless, they
They blew him out.
won by 21. Yeah, they were losing by 1 at halftime.
Oh, wow.
Losing by 1 at halftime. They won by 22 in the second half.
I have written down, like you said, if Edey does guard EK, I have written down EK is a legit threat to Zach Edey.
Yeah. No, he is.
I think that's the difference in this game.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's very skilled. He has ridiculous touch with either hand around the rim. But then you have Watson, too, who I've told you, I don't love the guy, but he's playing great. He's playing great in the tournament. He was 8 of 11 from the floor. Everybody shot it well. They shot 60% from the floor. This is against Kansas, a really good Kansas defense. It's just a team that doesn't have any depth. They shot 53% from the three-point line. They don't shoot a ton of them, but they make them. They just scored 89 points on the Kansas Jayhawks. So Hickman is railing shots from the outside, 3 of 4. Greg hit both of his attempts, but he's a forward. He gives you size. He's one of those like stretch forwards. He had 15 points. He could be a key factor in this one. I just think that I said coming in here, I felt like Purdue had the easiest run of the 1 seeds. I think that has proven to be the case. But now you run into a Gonzaga team that's playing their best basketball at the right time. So I'll take the Zags plus 5.5. Again, they don't even have to win. You just got to cover. 5.5 feels like too many points. I don't know why my computer's going fucking nuts on me right now. Let's see.
You're on a team total, you said, Nate?
Yeah, I'll take a Gonzaga as
Both?
well.
Okay.
I just think, Purdue's defense isn't bad, but they don't really force a lot of turnovers, and Gonzaga has a good amount of scoring options.
Same thing, different. So this is another one where if Gonzaga gets out and does what they want to do and they run, Edey doesn't want to run. It takes Edey a good little while to get up and down the court. So he could get into a little trouble there. So yeah, I'll take the Zags. You're on the Zag. We're all on the Zags?
Yeah.
Or you just lean Gonzaga?
No, I'm taking them.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now it gets dicey. Now we've got Duke taking on Houston, 8:40 tip. Houston's a 4.5 point favorite. The total sits at 133.5. Do you have a lean on this one, or do you have a play?
No.
Which way do you lean?
I have a play.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Which way are you going?
The lowest total, I believe. You can double check me on that. I'm gonna take the under.
Lowest total of the week, of the day, you're saying?
I think of the whole entire
Yeah, I'm sure.
round.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, obviously for a reason.
Yeah.
I see. These two teams run their half court sets. Duke is 103rd, averaging 103rd in the nation, averaging only 11 points per game in the fast break, and Houston sits at 187th, averaging only 9.5. We know these two teams like to slow it down. Shire and Sampson, they both love to run their half court sets, slow the game down, slower pace to this game. So I like the under in this one.
Okay. It's not popping up saying connection issues, is it?
No,
Okay.
not so far.
No, yeah, you don't have to hit anything. It'll pop up on the bottom. My shit's just going slow. I don't know why. What you said you don't currently have anything?
No.
Okay. Let me see.
What number did you get for the total?
133.5.
I think 134.5 is available.
Okay. I'll write that down. 134.
I'm going to lay 4 points with Houston.
Okay.
That would be my lean on the spread.
So, reason being, it's like we talked about. You're gonna get tested in this tournament along the way. Every team, except maybe UConn. I don't know if UConn got fucking tested last year.
No.
Just about every team has that game where it's like, holy shit, we squeaked by. People have fallen in love with this Duke team now. Coming into the tournament, we watched North Carolina march into Cameron Indoor Stadium. I was on them. They beat the shit out of Duke. Maybe not beat the shit, but they handled that game start to finish. Then, in the ACC tournament, they lost to NC State. Fast forward, they play Vermont in the first round. They beat them 64-47. They kill them like they're supposed to. Then, fast forward to this past weekend, they destroy James Madison 93-55. So now everybody's back on the Duke bandwagon. They've fallen in love with this team. McCain dropped 30 points, hit 8 threes. As a team, they shot at 50% from the three-point line. Good luck doing that against Houston. They shot it very well, very unimpeded. Not good defensive performance from James Madison. McCain's not hitting 8 threes against Houston. You're going to get a Houston team that just survived a scare. They understand what just happened. I think a lot of people are going to take Duke. I would be shocked if Houston's the public side because Duke looks great. Houston looks vulnerable. In their last 3 games, we saw them lose and then go to overtime, blowing a 10-point lead down the stretch. I think Houston comes out and beats the shit out of Duke, to be quite honest. Filipowski down low is, I've said it multiple times this season, is a bitch. Houston's going to bully Filipowski down low. Perimeter-wise, both have good perimeter defense. I probably said it coming in. I may not have, but Emmanuel Sharp, we might have talked about this off air, but if Emmanuel Sharp's hitting his outside shots, he's the X factor for Houston. I've been saying it. Because Cryer's the most consistent. He's the most consistent that you can rely on from the outside. Shed is one of those guys who's a microwave, can get hot when need be, but he's going to do everything you need. He's going to come flying in and put a put-back dunk on the center's head and then hit the hop step to seal the game. But if Sharp is giving you the outside production that he gave you against A&M, it took a perfect recipe for A&M to get back in that game. That probably should have been a cover for Houston, and it nearly turned into disaster. I'm not buying the hype with this Duke team. I've been saying Duke's weak. That's why we were on North Carolina. We saw what happened against NC State when DJ Burns was bullying Filipowski down low. You're going to get a bunch of guys that play just a different brand of basketball, and they're battle-tested. They've been through the fire multiple times. Duke is just, I feel, a weaker team than Houston, and I think it's going to show. I think Houston's going to beat Duke up. So I'm going to lay the 4 points with Houston.
Agreed.
You're taking Houston as well?
Man, yeah.
Yeah?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take them.
I had it written down before, and then I just kept, you look into something too much, and then I looked at the under, and I was like, ooh, I really like this under. Yeah, I'm going to take Houston -4 as well.
Yeah, I think Proctor's good. I like Proctor. I think he's a really good player. He can shoot it pretty well from the outside, too. McCain's obviously their best shooter. McCain's not going to get – this is going to be a great game. Like, this is one of those, like, good visual matchups, blue-red. It's Duke versus, like, the perennial powerhouse that is Houston now, but it's a blue blood. These are always really good matchups. I think Kelvin Sampson's going to get the guys ready to roll. I really do. I think I've said it, that this Houston team is vulnerable with the scoring and all of that. But just this overall matchup, this is like one team's going to be coming to play a basketball game. The other team's going to be coming to beat the shit out of the other team. So I'm going to take the team that's going to be ready to fight. I I could be wrong. I could see it wrong, but we haven't been that wrong yet. So
Dude, speaking of that Shed putback was disgusting.
yeah, that's what I was saying. He'll
That
come in
was
and
nasty.
yeah. No,
That was a huge play in that game.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They're gonna do everything you need to do. Kelvin Sampson, they embody Kelvin Sampson's style of just overall style as a person. Like that's what I'm saying. Duke's coming in, you motherfuckers painting his fingernails, making TikToks. That should tell you all you fucking need to know. He can shoot the lights out of the ball too. I'm not shitting on him like that. But you're lining up against Jamal Shed, who's gonna smack you across your fucking face. So that's great and all. Paint your fucking nails. He can shoot. Good luck. Good luck. Final game of the night, and it's going to be the sweatiest game of the night for obvious reasons. Creighton taking on Tennessee. Total is 2.5, 3 points in that range. Sorry, spread. Tennessee favored by 2.5, 3 points. Total sits at 143.5.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
134.5. I have the under on 134.5.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Okay. Are either one of y'all betting this?
I'm not gonna.
Okay. What about you?
I mean, I might get there eventually.
I'm going to take the over. I'm going to go over 143.5. I would be surprised if Creighton has as bad of a shooting night as they did. And it's kind of like we talked about. Is Dalton Connect going to go through this entire tournament without having a great game? He averages over 21 points a game. We've seen him drop 30 to 40 a few times this year. Neither team shot it well at all. Both teams play good defense, I understand. But Creighton shoots a shitload of threes. And if Creighton's hitting threes, we've seen Tennessee this year. This is not the same Tennessee team as years past. I've said that multiple times. We've seen them go toe-to-toe with high-powered offenses and even lead the way in a lot of regard. They put up 86 points against Illinois, a 3 seed. We saw them drop 90 on Ole Miss, 85 on Florida, 91 on Alabama, all in wins, 103 in Kentucky on the road, a win, 88 against LSU, 92 on the road against Arkansas, 88 against Vanderbilt, which that's Vanderbilt, but 86 versus A&M in a rout, 92 against Auburn, 81 against Alabama. I mean, this team can score the ball. So, but I'm expecting a better shooting night out of Creighton. And I think Creighton has more options to score. And they just overall shoot more threes. So I'm going to go over. I think the over is a safe bet in this one. Over 143.5.
The biggest thing for me is I just brought it up when we were talking about the Creighton game.
Yeah.
Is that adjustment made on Kuznard?
Uh-huh.
I mean, to have that, McDermott doing that at the end of the game, I thought that was a fantastic coaching decision. I'm curious to see what they do with Connect. How are they going to guard Connect? Are they going to stunt someone? Are they going to double? If so, who's rotating on who?
I mean,
that's the biggest thing for me.
They're going to play him straight up to start.
Right.
It's going to probably be a case of he can get his. We're not going to let anybody else beat us, if I had to guess, because he's going to get his. It took a really poor shooting night. I think he still had 18 points. Probably a good chunk came at the free throw line. I'm about to check. He is the best pure scorer in this tournament in terms of NBA style player. Length, can shoot a 3-level scorer, can get to the rim, really quick, explosive, a jump shot that you're not going to block. Yeah, he didn't have a good shooting night. 5 of 18 from the floor, 1 of 8 from the three-point line, which we already said this, but I'm reiterating. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So he scored 11 points from the floor, 7 at the line. Rick Barnes is not a bad coach. Rick Barnes is just a bad coach in March. So that is another thing to keep in mind. Is Rick Barnes going to exercise the demons? Are his teams going to come up short when it matters most, like they have time and time and time again? They made the Final Four that one year back when they might have had TJ Ford at Texas. That's how long ago it was. They didn't do anything with Durant when he was there.
Damn.
This was a 4-point win against Texas.
TJ Ford was good.
So McDermott just signed that extension. You gotta get your money's worth. This one's really tough. Like I said, I feel good about the over. I think the over is a good play. Over 143.5. I don't think Creighton's going to shoot it as poorly. I don't expect Dalton Connect to shoot it as poorly. I want, with everything in me, for Creighton to win this game. I do. I wish that y'all were fucking team players and wanted that as well. Yeah.
Oh.
That's why I said we're not going to be able to go watch it.
Well, then I just need a Gonzaga upset. And then I'm on board.
And then you'll root for Creighton?
I'm all over.
So you need to so Gonzaga's going to win.
Saying for my bracket.
Gonzaga's going to win. Okay. So now you can root for Creighton. Yeah.
We're all in.
Well, not all. Yeah, he's not. Huh? You want Tennessee to win really bad. Dude, this is America's team. Did you see what happened in that double overtime?
Yes, I saw it.
I'm making a joke out of it, but I'm also serious. We're like, that shit matters. That you have this it's this calming, like, okay, we've been here before. Shit hit the fan. We shouldn't have beat Oregon, but when we had to go get it, Shireman got us. Alexander's gotten us before. Ashworth, that little motherfucker, will hopefully get us if we need it. I mean, at the highest tension point of the game in double overtime, he came out and railed a three. So you have multiple guys. I've said it a bunch, but this is America's team. This is, dude. I'm not even kidding.
Ashworth got a lot of open shots.
I hurt my shoulder from fucking punching my arms in the air when they were hit. When Kalkbrenner hit that second three. Dude, I haven't sweat out a game like that for a team that's not my own, either the Saints or LSU. I mean, I have never sweat out a game for the Pelicans like that, but I mean, who knows? I'll hop on the wagon come if we make it to the finals.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. I have a Zion jersey. What do you have?
We've done this the past 5 years now.
Oh, you're saying yeah, right?
To the Pelicans.
That we're not gonna make. Okay, I thought you were saying yeah, right. Like I'm not a fan.
They do it every year.
No, they're going.
Oh yeah.
I bet on it.
All right, we got to stay focused. We got to stay focused.
Ashworth.
What about him?
He had a lot of open shots,
and he missed a lot.
So, but what's the guy's name? The point guard from Oregon, that got injured.
Shellstad.
Ashworth was open a lot at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. They could not keep up with him off of the screen. From
no, he is really fast. Like he'll come all.
He is fast.
He loves to shoot to the corner and like miss the fuck out of it, but he'll get it off quick. So
that's my thing though. Is you got another guy like that in Ziegler.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna be fucking just all over him all game.
Let me put it this way. If we're relying on Ashworth, we're fucked.
No, I'm just saying, but they run that high screen.
They do.
Ashworth and Kalkbrenner.
I hope that Ziegler is concerned with Ashworth.
I'd run that high screen with Shireman and Kalkbrenner if I was creating this game.
Yeah, or Alexander, or that's what I'm saying.
Else.
That's what I'm saying. This fucking team, dude. This team has so many options. They shot it so bad, and they still got the win. They still were able to pull out the win against a really good Oregon team. I understand they were an 11 seed. That team's fucking good. They just don't have anybody else. They're very top heavy in their scoring output, and they got gassed. Creighton outlasted them, but they were literally talking about that. They were all talking about how they had fresh legs, and credit to their strength and conditioning guy. Like, they felt great. This team's ready to fucking go. Rick Barnes melts in March. Dalton Connect can't hit a shot, and fucking Ziegler sucks. So I'm doing that thing where I come around to where I think Creighton might win this game by fucking 20. We watched Creighton beat UConn by 20 points. See, but you're fucking doodling because you want Tennessee.
No.
That's why, yeah. No, dude, he does. He does.
Oh, man.
Just admit it.
It'd be a great story if Creighton wins.
But would it, though? They're only 2.5 point underdogs. So if you had to bet it, though, you're laying the points, definitely.
No, I would take Creighton
I
with
would
the
take
points.
Creighton if I had to bet.
So why wouldn't you? Because you have the future.
I just have the future on Tennessee. I might put a future on Creighton.
But if you have the future, why wouldn't you just take Creighton with the points if you lean that way? If you lean them with the points, then they're certainly going to have a shot to win this game at the end. So your futures bet very well may go, see ya.
I'm just gonna wait till the very last minute to
I
see
do
what
think-
this line
I'll
does.
probably do the
I was
same
thinking about
thing.
this earlier though too. I do think that this is going to be a good opportunity for a live bet either way.
Yeah.
Depending on how this first 5 minutes goes, you go to that first media timeout and under 16. Because I think this shit's going to come down to the wire. So if somebody jumps out to a 10-point lead, take the other side.
Yeah, it's always nice when that does happen, especially when the team has a capable offense, which both of these teams do.
I hit a nice live money line with North Carolina when they were down 12.
Yeah.
So, and I had them. So they obviously covered the number for me on the full game, and then that live money line. We made a lot of money this past weekend. No, I want this Creighton team to win so fucking bad, so bad. We live in a world where Houston in the Final Four versus Creighton in the Final Four, either one that wins, I'm going to win either March Madness or my futures bet with a hedge opportunity. So, because I have Creighton in the Final Four of my Houston bracket. I have the best Houston bracket currently. So if they both get there, I'm going to basically be guaranteed a chunk of money. So, but I feel like you should say that you want Creighton to win.
No, I'm not saying that.
What do you mean? We both need Creighton.
For what?
What do you mean for what?
Well, I know why you need him. Why does he need him?
He has a Creighton bracket.
Okay, cool. I have two brackets too.
if UConn loses.
No, you said you need Gonzaga to win.
Yeah, if UConn loses.
Gonzaga's playing Purdue. Jesus Christ.
You need San Diego State
San Diego
to win.
State. Fuck.
You need them to win.
Too late. You already said you're going for Creighton. So San Diego State is not going to win. Yeah. I'm kidding. I mean, we're betting San Diego State, so hopefully. No, that would be
dude.
chaos. That would be great.
I freaking did a 2-leg Marquette -3.5 and the over after listening. Right as I placed it, I looked, the line's at 4.5. I would have been so freaking pissed.
Oh, good. You didn't do it.
I got it at 3.5.
You just
Oh,
snuck it in.
I got you. Yeah.
just snuck it in right before.
Yeah, I had
that
somebody try to
4.5.
tell me like it was only at 4.5. I said, no, the fuck it wasn't.
I got it the night before, late the night before.
Yeah.
At 3.5.
So, yeah, dude, I don't know. I really want Creighton to win this game. I do.
It's gonna be exciting either way.
Yeah, but the problem, what sucks is that it's at 9. We're not even gonna be able
Yeah,
to
I know.
fucking watch. Like, nobody's getting together to watch.
Yeah.
Why do we have a 9 p.m. tip?
What's the first one that day? Marquette,
NC State Marquette, yeah.
and that's at like 6, I would imagine.
Yeah. So it's like, in theory, if we wanted to go eat, we could still do that and go watch the games that matter less. But I'll have action on every game Friday. Every one. But yeah.
It's gonna be a bunch of good games.
Yeah, no, I have multiple routes to potentially be in the money, but I want Creighton above all else. I do. But that's all I got for the Sweet 16. And I was thinking about it. You're not going to be able to record for the Elite Eight.
Yeah, when would y'all record?
We'd have to do what we did. It's immediately the next day. We'd have to do what we did after the first round. Well, I mean, unless
I wonder.
there were later games, but time's not decided yet.
Do the teams that play on Thursday play on Saturday?
Yeah.
For sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking about. Instead of, I don't know. It's something we could talk about once the episode's over.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Like splitting it into two for future purposes.
Splitting it into two. Don't know what you mean. Splitting. I really don't. Splitting what into two?
I'll just say it. So for the first round and the second round,
Yeah.
the games on Thursday, the winners play on Saturday.
Yes.
So recording like Friday
I get
for
what you're saying.
Saturday's games, and then record again Saturday for Sunday's games. That way,
You're saying Friday during the yeah. So we'd have to do earlier on Friday. Like we'd have to, we'd have to do during the day on Friday.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could. I get what you're saying. If the slate is set for Saturday. During the day on Friday, we can record, give out Saturday, and then come back Saturday night and do Sunday. Yeah, possibly. I'm not necessarily opposed, but time-wise, like game start at 6, it depends. We'll work it out. We'll get it situated. But yeah, that's all I have for the Sweet 16. Do y'all have anything else that y'all are taking?
That's it.
You got anything? That's
You
everything?
want to recap?
No, yeah. I meant like any other bet or anything.
No, I don't have any bets.
Okay, yeah. So to recap, I am taking Arizona minus 6.5, San Diego State plus 11, Illinois plus 2. That's all for Thursday. On Friday, I'll play on every one for Friday. I'm going Marquette minus 6.5, Gonzaga plus 5.5, Houston minus 4, and the Creighton, Tennessee over 143.5, and 45-1 odds on Creighton to win it all. So we hope Tennessee loses by 100.
I'm taking San Diego State team total under 62.5. Iowa State team total first half under 34.5. Gonzaga plus 5.5. Gonzaga's team total over 74.5, and Houston minus 4.
I'm going to take Arizona minus 6.5, San Diego State plus 11, Marquette minus 6.5, Gonzaga plus 5.5, Houston minus 4, and the under in that Houston Duke game at 134.5.
All right, there you go. That is our best bets for the Sweet 16. One more time before we go. Put that on me. All right. You got to speak it into existence. It's a lot of money on the line. I'm wearing a Houston jersey, but I would prefer this to be a Creighton jersey. So everybody out there, if you don't have anybody that you're rooting for and you want to hop on the wagon, 45-1 odds for Creighton to win the national championship. We need all hands on deck. All right. I want it more than anything I've ever wanted in my entire life. Anything. March is the best time of the year. There's nothing better than sweating out a futures bet. Creighton's going to get it done. You got to speak it into existence. That's what I'm doing. Dalton Connect might have less than 10 points. And Ashworth might have 30. So we're just going with the crazy I hope. Creighton, please, for everything. For everything. That's all we got for the Sweet 16. Do you have anything to say before we go? You said
Good
no?
luck.
Go Aztecs.
All right, episode 185 is in the books. We will figure out when we're going to get back. We're going to give you all of our best bets for the Elite Eight going forward. We had a very, very profitable round of 32. About as profitable as you're going to find. Episode 184, we gave you 9 bets. We swept the board. Justin sat right here on episode 183 and went, I think, 8-1. So we're having like our Slumdog Millionaire run in March Madness. We're going to try to keep it going. Like I've said, there's money to be made, so we might as well make it. Y'all have a good one.
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.